We got some serious stuff to talk about today, guys. Now, first off, I want to specifically say this video doesn't really have a script. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I had a completely different video scheduled for today. I don't like making these type of videos. I actually kind of hate them. I feel like they come off in the wrong type of energy and people assume different types of content for my channel. So I want to make a disclaimer right now. I don't make these form of videos very often, but it seems like the conversation around Starfield has gotten so negative and so toxic that it has required me to make multiple types of these videos. And to be honest with you guys, I hate that. I can't stand that I have to talk about these things. But let's get straight into the video. Starfield. Right now it's sitting at an 85 on Metacritic. It's a great score. We're not going to act like that's not a good score. That is a phenomenal score. And I think a lot of games would kill for that type of review on Metacritic. But, there's a big but. If it deserved the 85, I would say give it the 85. But to me, there's some variables that's going on that I feel like is deliberately bringing this score down. I feel like it should sit around at 87, 88. That's me. I don't really care it's an 85, but I can't stand the fact that this game is being anchored by ill intentions. Now, obviously, I have no proof of any of this. I can only go off stuff that we're about to go into. I have multiple of these videos brought up. You get your own critiques and you give your own decision on, at the end of the day, if anything I'm saying is actually working out. So let's pop over here, because here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, I don't mind. I don't care what Metacritic is. I don't. But I do know Metacritic is a very big service that's in the gaming industry in general. They do movies. They do, I think, music. They do a lot of stuff. And to me, it should be something that is taken seriously to a point. Metacritic has let their website fall so much into the abyss that people don't take them seriously. And I think that's an issue. We should be able to look at Metacritic and, generally feel that this website is valid enough to where you can give some form of an opinion on what's going on. Now, for the most part, if you look at Metacritic and you look at the majority of the scores, they can give you a general idea of where things are going, where things are. But I do think there are circumstances where, for instance, Starfield didn't give a lot of review sites access to the game early. So automatically, because a lot of the media in gaming are so entitled that they feel like they they demand a review copy. And the moment I heard that a lot of them weren't getting it, I was like, oh God, they're going to maybe not necessarily review bomb the game, but the moment you don't give some of these media access to your game, they automatically expect way more than what is realistic. Now, let's go into right now what we see is Metacritic. Now, obviously, we have a lot of really good scores on Metacritic. I originally, to this day, I still don't get how, IGN and GameStop gave it a 7 because of what they've previously, scored stuff in the past. But we won't go into that because, even a 7 is kind of wild to me. But I can understand how you would come to a 7. There's a lot of different circumstances that would lead you to reviewing a game as a 7 out of 10. From story that didn't really hit you to, in a world that really didn't immerse you to just simply glitches and stuff. And to a point, there is some of things from all those categories that's in Starfield. So I can understand a 7 to a point. And that's like me having to really think about it. But then we got the 65, this 58, and this 40. Now, I have brought up these people. I have looked through their Metacritic and let me and you, the audience, we're going to look through them. Like I said, don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know, but we're going to get straight into this. First thing we're going to look into is the So Video Game Podcast, which is this outlet right here. First off, I want to point out these suckers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It seems like they have 9 reviews They've only reviewed 9 games, and somehow they're on Metacritic. I don't know. Let's look at the games they have reviewed. The Shadow Gambit for the Cursed Crew got a 90 on Metacritic, which the Metacritic score is 85, so that makes a little bit of sense. You know, this seems... we got one here called the Homebody, 75. Then we got 10 Dates. They gave that a 90. Let me blow this up here so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, there we go. And then Forspoken, which came out at the beginning of the year, they got an 85. Mario Rabbids, 90. And Saint Rose, an 85. They think Saint Rose is a far superior game than Starfield. We won't get into that. Stray, they gave Stray 100. Hold up. I got to give you guys another spin. Spin for the Stray at 100. Oh my god. I'm gonna be doing this spin thing for a minute, man. Sword and Fairy Together Forever. It's an 85. If you look through here, I'm pretty sure they have scored the majority of the games that they have reviewed at high above 7s to 8s. 8s, I think. We got an 8.5, 100, 8, 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5. Okay, so they scored the Homebody as a 7.5. 9. Starfield's their lowest scoring game. It's the only thing they've ever scored as a mixed review. Let's move on. Let's move on to I ain't even trying to pronounce it. It's these people. The Measure Station, I think. I don't know. They should probably look at that. You should probably have that. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so this, like I said, this company gave it a 6.5. Now we're going to go to these. And this company gave it a 5.8. Now, let's look at their games. I'm going to blow it up one more time for you guys because, you know, normally I'm getting blind. I'm going to have to look for some better glasses. All right, so keep in mind, 5.8's what they gave them. So they think in the Immortals game is a better game logistically. And keep in mind, this studio here, where's any of the games that came out this year? You know, we have Star Wars. There's so many games that came out this year that they have not reviewed. Spooky. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3, 10 out of 10. I can actually agree with that. I can see how you can get that game is almost perfect, if not perfect. That's my game of the year so far. Then we got 8. So they think it's a better game than AEW Fight Forever because they gave it a little bit of a higher score than they gave the other one. They think it's a better score game than Immortals. They gave it a damn near almost a 5, a whole 10 points more. Armored Core gave that a 9. Atlas Fallen, they gave Atlas Fallen a better score. And I heard almost nothing but negativity about that game. I digress. That dinosaur game, Exo Primal, that was in Game Pass. It's a better game than it, apparently. Viewfinder, 8. Sinipus, 8. Remnant, 8. Clive and Wretch, a 6. Pigment 4, a 9. Super Dungeon Maker, a 68. Aliens Dark Descent, which I actually liked that game when I played it at PAX East, a 78. GYL Glitz, I don't know, a 70. Oxenfree 2 Lost Signal, a 70. Everybody 1-2 Switch. Damn, you reviewing that game this late? Didn't that game come out in like 5 years ago? Whatever. A 7. Everspace 2, an 8.5. You know what's crazy? I'm just now looking. All these old ass games was reviewed recently. Like, how long have they been? I mean, it looks like they have a good amount of reviews, so I won't go that far. Let me take that one back. But you know what's crazy? I'm looking at all these. Starfield's the lowest scored game that they have given in a minute. Like a minute. They've given, okay, so they've reviewed 3,349 games. 73 of them have been higher than average critic, so they're very consistent at reviewing high. Now, this next individual, okay, you know, I could see how they would come up with that. But this studio, this website tends to review high for the most part. They tend to really, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, it seems like. And it's like I said, if you go in the first one, the majority of them are higher than Starfield. I wonder why. I wonder why they deliberately reviewed this game lower than everything they are reviewing. I don't know. All right, so we all know who this person is. We all know who they are. Now let's go over. Now, this individual, I can understand why they would review it as Starfield. Because they generally do review games low. And I think they're pretty consistent on it. So you have to give to them. Now, if you look at down here, 7, they gave Clash Artifacts at Chaos a 9. I don't know what that's about. Double Dragon Gaiden Rise a 3. So it is pretty consistent. We got to be real on here. But to me, man, they're reviewing almost everything low. They're kind of like weird with some of this stuff. Like you see like a 7.5 on Warhammer's 40 boat gun. So this is like one of the only ones I can really generally see is consistent. You know, they just don't like playing games. I don't know why. I don't know why you keep playing games you don't like. If you don't like the majority of the games you play, why are you even playing games? It does look like they, I mean, look at that. Metroid Prime remastered a 7.5 and they gave it a 9.4 and they gave it a 7.5. Dead Space got an 8.9 and they gave it a 50. Forspoken got a 6.4 and they gave it a 50. 15? Wow. You know, they've really been hard on games. It looks like it. But according to this little graph, because they have 292 reviews, and the majority of them are negative. The majority of them are negative. 64% was lower than average. They just don't like games. I don't know why. Here's the thing. These aren't the only people that do stuff like this. Now, I'm not saying that they're deliberately coming out there with lower scores to get traffic to their website, but I see it a lot in the past. I see a lot of the times where if something's reviewing really well, they want to come in at the lower end of the spectrum to naturally get traffic to their website. I don't know if these people are doing it. I didn't care enough to really do a whole lot of research besides looking at the stuff that they are reviewing on Metacritic. But my thing is we've known this has happened. We have seen linked information. We have seen people talk about, you know, review codes going out under the assumption they're going to get good reviews. We've seen all of this in the past. Metacritic has like a weird thing where if you do a 5 out of 5 score, you automatically come into Metacritic at like a 6 or a 7. Or right there should have been some concern where Metacritic, okay, let's scale this back. You can't come on our website unless you have a 10 out of 10 rating. Because that would make sense because that's what their ratings are. But they just let it fly. They let multiple incidences where websites are manipulating their review process just so they can get traffic on their website. Now, if you generally don't like the game and you just gave it a 5 or even a 5, 6, 7 out of 10 because you just generally didn't like it, I'm cool with that. Where I want to draw the line is people using the system to their own advantage. When it comes to reviews on this process, there should be no people's like, well, it is Metacritic. You know, OpenCritic does all the platforms together, and I feel like it's more of a well-balanced machine than Metacritic is. But for some reason, people still go to Metacritic. You know, back to what we said originally. Starfield is a fantastic game. If it's an 8.5, it's an 8.5. Who am I to question the industry and their review process? But if I felt like it was an 8.5 off its own merits and it wasn't off of certain individual outlets' personal motives, I wouldn't be making this video. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I don't like making this type of video. I feel like it's very poor taste, and I feel like it just looks like I do nothing but complain all the time. You know, I've made a couple of these videos the past like week and a half, and that's because the energy around Starfield is crazy. Xbox has a good game. They do. It's okay. Because guess what? Spider-Man comes out next month. We got the Mario game coming out soon. There's plenty of stuff to play. We don't have to try to sabotage things. And I get it. The whole industry is not doing this. It's just certain individuals. You know, even Dan over there at IGN, when he gave it a 7, I don't agree with it. Me personally, I feel like anything below an 8 on this game is just crazy. You went into the game with the intentions of hating the game. But I get it. I'm not going to sit here and argue about your reviews. You want to give it a 7, Dan? Perfectly okay. But a 4 is like, that game is so bad that I don't want to play it no more. So I'm going to end this video with this. If a game is truly a 4 out of 10 and you find it that bad, a 4 out of 10, even a 5 out of 10, how did you finish that game? Because I'm just telling you guys right now, there's no way you're catching me playing a 4 out of 10 and I didn't like the game. Because if I'm playing a game and it's that bad to me, I'm dropping it. That's just how it is. I'm dropping it. I'm not making myself play these type of games. If it's that bad, dropping it. Going on to something else that I enjoy more. But anyway, tell me what you guys feel about the Starfield reviews in the comment section below. Tell me if you think it's genuine. Obviously, there's going to be people that agree with this. It's the messy people, and I get it. Put in the comment section too. I don't mind a little bit of back and forth. Just keep it respectful. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. This video was 17 minutes long. Damn.